It's time. Hey. Oh yeah, full moon time. Hey. We love astrology, we love oracle readings, and we love to dance. We love music. It's time to talk about this full moon in Cancer. What? Hey. We're gonna just see if we can hear the beat drop one more time. Ready? Yeah, baby. How are y'all doing out there? Oh yeah, oh yeah. It is time. It is time to talk about the full moon in Cancer. Oh my goddess. I am Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend, and you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. And yeah, I'm just so happy to come in and talk about the full moon that's happening in Cancer. It's our first full moon of 2025. So the first lunation that we're having between the new moon and the full moon, baby, it's the full moon. Interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, so happy to have you all here. This is a recording. And so I just want to say hello to all of the G Hive. What does G stand for? It stands for goddess, because we're all things goddess here. We honor the goddess within and the goddess without. Hello, and hello to all my new sisters, the queens. How are y'all doing? All the goddesses out there. So happy to have y'all here. You know, I have manners. I have to take my time to introduce. I know on YouTube they like, you got to say everything at a certain way at the beginning of the video, but I'm like, no, I'm human. I need to have manners. And sometimes we just need to come in and settle in. So just go on ahead, grab your beverage, grab your, your water, your coffee, your tea, get a piece of paper and a pen, and let's sit down. Let's be sisterly and just have a conversation instead of me just talking at you. I want you to feel like we're right here together. So yeah, let's talk about this full moon in Cancer happening on January the 13th. It is at 5:27 p.m. Eastern Time. It is at 24 degrees of Cancer. It's just going to be so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay. I'm hoping that the sound is okay. I had to pause for a moment just to make sure everything sounded okay. So I'm hoping it is okay. So who am I? I'm Tyra Omilade. Again, I'm a spiritual guide. I'm a coach, astrologer, initiated priestess, and yeah, I am here to help empower women. It's all about getting the tools and the wisdom, the astrology, all of it into your hands so that you are empowered to make decisions and choices that are based on guidance. I see all of what I do and share as it's a guiding light. That's astrology, that's oracle readings, that's the spiritual process. We're always looking for that path. So we don't just kind of feel like life is happening to us. We're making conscious choices that we feel are based on our own intuition, again, connecting with higher divination. And the reason this is so important is because this is what our ancestors did. This is the legacy they have left us. We don't have to struggle. We have something we can tap into. And so yeah, that's one of the reasons I do this these kinds of videos. So let's talk about what is the full moon. The full moon is the time of the month, as I see it, where it's time to get a message. It's time to get a revelation. And, it's a time a time to open up to um hearing from spirit or the guides, the ancestors. This moon that we're in is Cancer, so it's intuitive. We definitely can be hearing from the ancestors. Now, how will you hear from the ancestors? Some people are like, hey, I don't want the ancestors coming in and sitting on my bed, or, I don't want them to come in too hard or too strong. And they can speak to you in a way that is comfortable. Say, for instance, maybe you find an old documentary, or someone in the family starts talking about auntie so and so, uncle so and so, grandma, grandpa, whoever, or just start telling stories about the ancestors. Some message may come to you through that. Or, sometimes I think the ancestors speak through music. So it could be you're listening to some old songs, or one just so happens to show up in your feed in some kind of way. So, yeah, the ancestors could definitely be speaking during this time. You could definitely be hearing quite a bit from the other side. So you're looking for these revelations. You're looking for, what does the universe have for me? A lot of times we're just stuck in our conscious mind. We're stuck in our logical, rational mind. We also just live this life where we have all these repetitive thoughts. But when we are intentional about working with the full moon, then it's like, let me just get quiet and open myself up to hear, what is the message that they have for me. So, definitely, this is something that could be happening at this moon. Also, it's a time to celebrate. It's a time to write down things that you're proud of, because when we don't do that, we send a message to our subconscious mind that we're not completing anything, we're not accomplishing anything. And so, we're kind of taught, don't brag about yourself, but you're bragging about yourself to yourself. So just write it down. Write it down. Celebrate in some kind of way, even if it's just do a little dance. So it's definitely a time to celebrate. Some things may be coming to an end at a full moon. Um, it could be you're finishing a project, or a relationship ends. It's just like something can come to an end. The full moon also has this push and pull, so it's asking you what's in balance and what's out of balance. So you have to remember, it's a lot of light at the full moon. It is illuminating what that thing is. Your mission, if you so choose it, is to pay attention to what's coming through. I always tell people, I find women to be very intuitive. There are so many women I've done readings for who don't know anything about astrology. But as I look at their astrology and they tell me what they're doing, I'm like, girl, you are in tune, right? So just pay attention. Life is your greatest teacher. What you're experiencing, what you're seeing, that feedback, it's important. Okay. You'll see me looking off to the side because this is where my big screen is. So these are some keywords for Cancer. So home, family, history. Let's see here. I don't have them all in order. I want to put them together. Home, family, history, nostalgia. Those are all things, especially at this Cancerian full moon. People may be very nostalgic, focused on family, focused on the home. So these are all things that could be coming up. And I always say, when it comes up, it's meant to be there. Maybe your subconscious mind is like, "Hey, you can handle thinking about it," or it just knows this is a good time to bring this up so you can look at it. So, those are some things. This could be a very, very emotional moon for everybody, okay? It's a lot of energy in this moon. It's quite a bit of water energy happening right now. We have a planet that's also a part of the moon called Mars. And so it could be very, very emotional, very nostalgic, very much like I just want to be with my family, that kind of thing. Or you're like, I've been meaning to finish this home project. I'm going to get it done, right? Again, here's the emotions. That's something that could be coming up. I talked about the ancestors already. They could be giving messages, or, when we think about ancestors, we also think about history. So this could become a topic that is very prominent for us right now. It's like, I just want to look at the history of a thing. It could be of your family, it could be, some historical event that has happened. But all of those topics become important. And I always say the ancestors are asking you, what part of the legacy are you going to pick up and carry and move forward? That might be something that's coming up for a lot of us right now. Okay, so intuition, I talked about that. Um, I want you to pay attention to the intuitive nudges that you're getting. And I want you to write them down, especially if you're somebody who doesn't really trust your intuition. For those who trust your intuition, you'll just be so happy with this moon. But other people who are not, just write down if you feel an intuitive nudge. It might be in your body, it might be something that you hear. Maybe you're like, why do I feel like I see something? It's like you can see something that nobody else can see. Just write it down. All right. And over time, you'll get more information about what that really means. Okay. Cancer is also about protection, but it can lead to overprotection because remember, this is the mother. Cancer is all about being motherly. But I do think that protection is going to be a major topic because in this moon, we have the planet um, Mars. Mars is this energy of the warrior, and it's this energy where it wants to fight. It actually is retrograde, so it might be people are thinking about, oh, like for instance, the other day I told my sons, I really need to take a self defense course. I've said I was going to do it for years and I haven't done it. And that's something I need to do. It's kind of like something that you meant to do. Maybe you bought a home security system and you never got it installed, or you let your subscription lapse or something like that. But Cancerian is a very protective energy. It wants to put up fences, and it's all about protecting the home. It's just how it is. So that could be something that is coming up. And you can ask yourself, maybe for some people, it's like you are being overly protective in some way. That is something that might need to be addressed also. So we have this energy of nurturance and mother, and so it's like a great full moon to look at how are you caring for yourself? How are you loving yourself? As well as how are you caring for the things that are most important in your life? How are you caring for your family? How are you caring for your gifts and your talents? Like this thing, it could extend out far and wide. How are you caring for your relationships, your home, your career? Baby, all we gotta do is just go down the list. So I'm wondering, when you think about how you're caring for all the different things that are in your life, what needs the most TLC and where are you doing really well? Let's look at that. Okay. Look at that. But it could bring up mama topics like, some people may miss their mother. Some people may get in an argument with their mother because Mars is there. So don't be surprised if you get in an argument with your mom. It 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 the energy lends itself to that, so you can just decide, "Is this really worth it or not?" But it could lend it, or if you're a mom, your child is arguing with you. Arguments with mamas, it could go both ways, right? or someone who sees you as a mother or you see that person as a mother or something like that. Um, it's, also, you might be looking at where you're stuck in the past because this energy can get stuck in the past. It gets nostalgic and it gets stuck in the past, okay? It can help you kind of in that protection over protection. Where you feeling secure, where you feeling insecure. Because the full moon wants you to be able to see your strengths as well as your weak spots so that you can do something about it. I always say astrology is happening for you, not to you. It doesn't just happen on you. It's always trying to help benefit you, even the worst astrology we could ever experience, because there are some really hard transits. They are here to help you evolve, heal, grow. All right. So, yeah, maybe some people are going to see that where you're being, insecure about something. Um, and maybe where you how you can step into feeling more secure, right? Adaptability is key. That was one of the notes that I wrote. Is like you really need to understand this moon can help you understand what needs to be adapted, what needs to be improved upon, or maybe you need to be more adaptable. I think right now, adaptability is the best thing you can do is to leave yourself as, pliable and flexible, willing to change, willing to, look at what's there and see how can I make this better. So maybe the full moon is going to receive or reveal something to you around adaptability, and being changeable. Adaptability, changeability. It can be hypersensitive for sure because Cancer is ruled by the moon, which changes every 2.5 days between the signs. That's one of the things that makes cancers so adaptable, even though they're looked at as moody, because the moon has to do with our emotions. It's like Cancerians almost can't help themselves. When the moon is in a fire sign, they feel that energy. When the moon moves into an earth sign, they feel that energy. Um, and that's what helps them to become adaptable and changeable. And it just takes a little while to learn how to manage that, to be okay with it. And so a lot of us are, maybe going to feel a little hypersensitive with this moon, but it's going to help us to um, maybe just get in touch with just that feeling. Because, Cancerians, Cancer is that energy of feeling, and some of us might be numb right now. And so this moon can help us to become more sensitive. Or if you're hypersensitive, it'll help you see that too. The moon rules the stomach, the breast, and the gut. So for some people, things may be coming up around those parts of the body. All right. So I love connecting the sign to goddesses, colors, scents, crystals. I'm just going to let you stop, take a picture, of what's here, and I will do my best to integrate them as we go. Screenshot it, take a picture with your phone because I'm going to keep moving. I got quite a bit to share. So, what I want you to do is also during this full moon time, I want you to write down 5 to 10 accomplishments that you have achieved over the last 6 months to a year. I want you to celebrate, and I would love to have you share them with me. So feel free to drop them into the comments. I just want to celebrate you right now. Woohoo! I tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to do this really quickly. As you celebrate, I want you to remember this. I'm going to do it again. Yes, Queen. It's so important, feeling getting acknowledgement. I don't care what anyone says. It's just part of what we it's part of being a human. It's part of what is important to us. So yeah, I celebrate you. All right. I celebrate you. All righty. So questions to ponder. We talked about this a little bit before, but here again, you can go into your journal. How are you doing with your self care, your self love, your self compassion, and your self nurturance? How is your family life? How are things with your home, your place of living? So sit down and just, even if you just write 1 or 2 sentences, that is fine for each prompt. That is fine, but you really wanna become aware. That's what the journaling is about. It's helping to bring what's deep inside of you up so that you can look at it and, just take an assessment, really. Are you trusting your gut, your intuition? How is your emotional body and how are you caring for it? This is something that people really don't know a lot about because we weren't taught it. We're taught um, to um, take care of our body. We only recently really started talking about mental health care. Very, to me, it's been in the last 5 years, maybe, maybe. Um, But yeah, more and more people are talking about the emotional care, doing things like tapping, um, yeah, EFT, what is this called? I can't remember, but it's like working on your emotion code or something like that is the book I read. But it's like resetting all of the meridians as much as you can. Energy medicine, we'll call it that. Um, yeah, resetting your meridians, that helps. Journaling helps. Sometimes we need to get up and dance. We need to get up and move, go walk, yell, scream. One of my favorite things is to be by myself and to turn the music up where I could barely hear myself sing so I could just belt it out. Oh, also soothing that vagus nerve, like just holding your face like this. These are all the kinds of things. Learn about that vagus nerve if you don't know about it yet. That it helps to soothe and calm the nervous system, the emotional body, going to therapy, working with healers, those kinds of things to help alchemize and move trauma that's stuck in our body. All of these are so, so important. My husband had the teapot going. I was like, "Let me turn that off until he stops it." Okay, have you been working with and listening to your ancestors? So, for me, that's like, yeah." But I see it as a core spiritual practice. I would say, please, by all means, work with your ancestors. And so listen to them, pay attention when they show up in your dreams, those kinds of things, okay? So, what can you expect with this full moon? Success through self care. Always, always, whenever we're working with Cancer, success through self care, trusting your gut, focusing on what's important to you. I definitely think boundaries is definitely important. Being all in, especially with that Mars being there, but it's you're all in for something that it, I'll tell y'all, I really do think that this full moon is kind of like, hey, finish this up because something new is coming. But it's like you got to tie up some loose ends before you can get this new thing. And the reason I say that is because when we look at this moon, we have what is called the North Node there in Pisces. Okay. So everything in Pisces has the potential to interact with everything in Cancer. Okay. And so um, those are water signs, right? So they're supportive of each other. And we just had the South Node move into Pisces. This was yesterday, actually. Wait a minute. Yeah, the 11th. 111. The North Node moved into Pisces, and conversely, the South Node is at 29 of Virgo. Okay. So with this North Node being right here, the North Node is like spring, Aries. It's like new beginnings. It's like Uranus too, Uranus, whatever you want to call it. So this moon is involving planets that are close to this north node. That's like, hey, we're in a new house. It just left Aries and now it's in Pisces. It's like, hey, we're in a new house and it's time for us to do something new, right? But with that Mars being down here, it's saying, well, we need to do something new, but that we got to focus on finishing something before we can actually get that done. So that's what I'm really thinking about, being all in. It's like, I've got to get this all done because something new is coming, right? Let's see here. Okay. So I'm looking at the number, that degree of the moon. It's so we already talked about it's a Cancer moon, but what else is it bringing in there? Well, it's bringing in the energy of Pisces. So this is interesting because it's bringing in the energy of Pisces as well as there's all those planets that are in Pisces. And so this full moon, I mean, this could be a full moon where some people return to ancestorhood. It really could be. People go back to being ancestors. Um, yeah. And it also might be a moon where, yeah, you're dealing with loss. And, I just think about everybody in LA who is dealing with loss. Like, yeah, look at that Cancer home. So I'm hoping this moon will bring support to everyone in LA and just anyone anywhere who is dealing with issues around place of living, um, yeah, and home. So, yeah, people dealing with loss. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell y'all stuff that's like, oh, this is not the best, but it's like, let me tell the truth. And again, Pisces is ending, so it's definitely something for some of y'all could or us could be ending. I was trying to distance myself from that. Y'all notice that? Some of y'all could be ending something. It could be a revelation of a loss, okay? Remember I told you there's something about the full moon where something could be released and let go of. I will say Pisces is about transcendence. It's this energy that is like, this world doesn't trick me. I'm not fooled by all the trappings of the space-time continuum. And so it really brings, like this energy of growth and expansion, especially with Sagittarius, which is very spiritual also. It's the spiritual law. So this moon, I think, could really help us to see something greater, a greater understanding, greater spiritual understanding. Or maybe you've been dealing with an addiction because Pisces is addiction and you feel like you've transcended that. My goodness, my goddess, if there are people who need to transcend bad habits, and I'm going to tell y'all something. With that South Node now in Virgo, it is definitely this energy around what bad habits do you have that you need to release and let go of, okay? So, it could definitely be a full moon. So, maybe this full moon is like, "Hey, this is what you need to transcend. You haven't done it yet, but we're gonna reveal it to you, okay?" Um, Pisces is very spiritual. It has Neptune in it right now. Um, the South Node is there. Saturn is not super spiritual, but is elevating this energy of Pisces. Venus is there. So this moon could feel deeply spiritual. I think it's a moon that can help you to feel attuned to a higher power and just really connected with that higher power. Pisces also has to do with healing. So maybe some people are going to receive a healing, or, I pray that that's what's happening. Let's see here. Creativity. And, oh, again, Pisces has no boundaries. So, again, Saturn is there in Pisces, so that can it's kind of like you can be all transcendent if you want, but when you're ready, here's the game plan, so let's get back to work. Saturn is like, "Get real." It'll, really yank you down and get you all sobered, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, let me focus," right? So, also this full moon has the energy of Sagittarius, like I said. So, maybe you're going to see how you've grown or how you've expanded, or maybe you're going to see that you need to do that. This moon could confer optimism, faith, and hope, which I think is needed so much right now. It also, Sagittarius has to do with abundance and good fortune. And so maybe this full moon is um, it'll reveal that. Maybe it's gonna be like you've had this mindset of thinking that you aren't fortunate, maybe in family, or maybe when it comes to your home or something like that, and you're just like, I'm very fortunate. It can help to give you perspective whenever Sagittarius is on the scene. Now, this is bringing the energy of fire, plus we have Mars there. So it could like inspire you to do something. This full moon can help to inspire you to do something, especially with regard to Cancerian things. Okay. It also has to do with foreign culture, and travel. So for some people, maybe you're going to be doing some traveling, book publishing and publicity. And it might be that it's like your approach to it. Just like at the beginning of this video, I was like, I'm here to talk to human beings. And I understand the subconscious mind needs whatever, but at the end of the day, I want to feel warm. I want to feel friendly. And, that's just how I'm going to do it. So it's like you just want it to be more soft and, you want it to be more like whatever, a new style, but it could be more of like a Cancerian style. Okay. So yeah, that's this is a full moon that really can give you a lot of insight. That's what this is telling me. It can give you a lot of insight. It can give you a lot of perspective. It can help you to see where you've grown or where you need to grow, what you need to let go of, what you need to embrace, or showing you actually did let go of a thing. So I'll tell anybody, oh, cancer is definitely emotional eating. And so for me, I've often dealt with using food to help me manage my emotions. And so recently, I just told myself I'm done with Altoids. I had to give up gum years ago. I don't even know when I last had a piece of gum. I can't even think about gum because I used NLP. That's something else. It's like use the subconscious mind to help you move past some of this stuff, right? So NLP stands for neuro linguistic programming. I'm certified in that. And so I just thought I've got to give up gum. And I like mint, and I can't do tea and different things like that. I can't even take mint drops. For some reason, it just doesn't work for my body. So I was chewing the gum, got rid of that. Then I turned to Altoids. Just too much. I do too many Altoids. And so I just made a decision recently, maybe in the last week. Done. Done. It's over. Maybe you've transcended something, right? Okay. So I think what I want to do is just give y'all a few notes right here on this full moon. So, yeah, this moon is maybe asking you to look at your emotions and how are they helping or hindering your career? Because the sun is up here in this house that has to do with career, or how are your emotions helping or hindering your success? It could be success in anything because Capricorn, it just wants to be successful, right? So it's doing that. Um, it's also this energy around what you're known for, and as it relates to like how are you grounded? So I see Cancer as the sign that's like your foundation, right? You have this foundation, and what extends up from that foundation is what is everything. Everything rests on Cancer when we think about, the true meaning of this sign. Even if Cancer is not on your fourth house, at the end of the day, it represents that part of ourselves that is the foundation. And for some of us, the foundation is set up by the ancestors and the community, the ancestral legacy, that kind of thing. And sometimes that speaks to what you think you're allowed to be known for. And so maybe that's something that people are dealing with right now. It's kind of like, the foundation upon which I am, does it allow me to be known for what I want to be known for? Or is there some blockage? Is there some hindrance there? The moon is inner needs, and the sun is like, this is what I want to go for. Like, this is my destiny. This is what I'm working on. And so the question is, balancing out the needs that you have versus the goals. The sun kind of represents the goals that you're setting. It's like how you want to shine. And so if there's a conflict there, a lot of people, they don't like to be seen, or it's something that has happened to them when they were younger that just won't let them make full progress to whatever their career is or whatever you want to be known for. Okay. So that could be coming up for some of you all. It's kind of like, how do you get past this block around moving forward? How can you stop these emotions from derailing you from getting there? Or if you're too success driven and you're just not paying attention to your inner care or your self-care, your inner world, then it's kind of like you're going to be on a shaky foundation because the emotions and being healthy and taking care of yourself, it's key. It's so important. So we have that Mars there with that moon. And the way I look at it is, it's kind of like being focused. What are you focusing on? Or maybe you lost your focus. All right. You might see me look down. I have a few notes. Your focus has been lost. And so now, you're going to have to find it again. Um, Maybe it's going to bring up memories around things that you were angry about that have to do with family or your ancestral legacy, that kind of thing. And again, it can make you want to really be in protection mode. So just know you might be overly protective of something at this point. Now, Cancer is a sign that has to do with taking action, new beginnings, that kind of thing. So this full moon can be indicating perhaps what action you need to take to go in the new beginning. So it could be revealing some of that to you also, even though there may be something that you need to finish up before you can do that. Is asking you to take some action. It's like, what action do you need to take around home, around family? I think it's just important to not just be or acting based on emotions. It's like, make sure you do things that um, help you to decide, am I just going to go straight emotional, or am I going to calm down before I take action? That's just during this moon phase, right? I can tell you what, if you started something in the last 6 months or so, this full moon can definitely help you to keep making, some forward progress. But the key is this. So there's this moon and this Mars, they are interacting with and meeting with these planets over here, especially that Neptune. And so one of the things that I wrote is, you have to remember that you co-create your reality. Yes, take action, but it's like you want to make sure you're taking inspired action. I also like to say, take action guided by wisdom. And again, Saturn being there, it's like, hey, you still need that plan. You can be tranced out and all you want, but at some point you need to make sure that if you're gonna be taking all this action, that you do it, based on this plan that you have, and maybe, maybe you need to come up with a plan. Maybe you need to intuit the plan. Let's see here. What else do I wanna say? So another thing that I noticed is that we have Venus and Neptune, Jupiter, excuse me, Venus and Jupiter, they're meeting. Now, I talked about the Sagittarius part of this moon could be bringing in abundance. That definitely could be bringing in some type of abundance to you. They're in signs that have to do with being adaptable and changeable. So it's like good fortune comes to you if you're willing to change and adapt. um, it's kind of like you're gonna get a blessing, but it might be after a bit of a challenge with this moon. So it might be, there's all this emotion, you cry, you get in an argument with somebody, and then on the other side, it's like, oh my gosh, I see things a different way, or I have the gift of feeling like I got it all out of me. Maybe the gift is you go through some spiritual process, and, it's like hard to release all of that stuck trauma and those hurtful memories, but then you release it and let it go, and it just feels like you have so much more space within you, right? Or you decide you're gonna clean up the home, and it's like you find this treasure of some sort, or something that you lost, you find it. So, you know, Venus and Jupiter connecting with each other, they always wanna bring a blessing, but it's like a blessing that comes with struggle, but in the end, it will definitely be a blessing. Venus is in the subconscious mind, and Jupiter is in the place of the conscious mind. And so the blessing could be in mind. It's interesting. Um, how was it? I don't remember the order, but I know I was kind of focused on my thoughts and my mind. And maybe I was listening to somebody talk about thoughts and mind. And then I decided to listen to my laws of the universe class. And the first thing I said in the video that I talked about is the law of mentalism. All is mind, right? And it was just kind of like the importance of how you think. And, this one book called Secrets of the Yoga Sutra, it talks about how so many people, their mind is disturbed, distracted, and stupefied. And this is really the cause of people not feeling at peace. So it could be some healing of the mind through the subconscious mind, right? The subconscious mind is everything, everything. All right. Lastly, Chiron is interacting with this moon. I'll show it to you over here. Chiron is at 19 degrees of Aries. Now that also is part of that healing energy that is coming through. This is definitely a moon that's like, "Hey, can we heal? We need to heal." And I always say, "Turn the wound into wisdom." That's what Chiron is all about. Yeah, we all have a wound somewhere because we all have a Chiron. How can you turn that wound into where it becomes not only wisdom, but it's wisdom you can use to help other people? So this moon might be one of those where we are a little bit focused on that Chiron wound, and it feels like a core wound. It's like no matter what I do, that just creates a little pain in me of some sort, right? Might be to the body since Chiron is in Aries right now. But yeah, Chiron. Okay. So overall, overall, I would say this is a moon that is very powerful. It is definitely, I'm gonna look at this one. It is definitely a moon that is going to be a little bit challenging for people. But it is a moon that If you go with it, you can get a lot of downloads, and maybe you're gonna get like an emotional purging of some sort. It's nothing like an emotional purging. And that creates more space for you to do other things. It can help you with, things around the home, or maybe there's something that needs to be focused on when it comes to the family, right? So, um, oh, and also, I really do think that this is the good moon for helping you to see, what are these emotions doing in terms of you being successful. And it's not just a career. When I say successful, it's like, what are you working on that you want to be more successful at? For some people, it might be having routines, or for other people, it might be you want to be more successful at, let's look at the areas of life, at money. Maybe it's not making money. Maybe you make plenty of money, but you just want to be better at managing it. Or some people may be want to be more successful at staying off social media, right? So, um, more successful at, in some aspect of your relationship. So, I just want to give examples because I know people oftentimes think of success as career, but it's not that. Or so we're looking at how the emotions might be getting in the way. Maybe you're going to have an emotional breakthrough that you need in order to finally make this forward progress on something. Or oh, here's another one. What emotions do you need to have in order to make it happen? How do you need to feel? And oh, cancer is also about needs. This might have you kind of focusing on, this is what I really need. Like, I'm really being honest. I've tried to just ignore this, but honestly, I really need this. So you can be looking at your needs, and that once you address those, it helps you to be more successful. Um, I think it's important to kind of, oh, I didn't even, I was going to say expect something unexpected. And there we have Uranus. I didn't even pay attention to Uranus. This is a part of this moon also. It can help you to up level, get that breakthrough, look at what kind of progress are you making, make progress, that kind of thing. Um, yeah, Uranus is like this unexpected thing. So I believe something unexpected, and I think it could be very positive, could actually happen with this moon. Um, so, I've been noticing people talk about how the tragedy in California is bringing out the best of people. You hear about all the different firefighters from around the world who are coming to the United States to support California, people of California, and or in that area, and people just doing all kinds of things that are helpful, helping one another, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's like, and it gets broadcasted, or it just kind of like spreads out, right? So, yeah, I will say part of the reason that I'm hearing from some of the astrologers about that fire is definitely this Mars when it was interacting with this Pluto. So I'm hoping the further away Mars gets from Pluto, those fires will go on ahead and die down. So yeah, just saying a prayer for everybody out there. If you know somebody, if you have been affected, please let us know so we can support you and cheer you on. I know there's all sorts of places where people can make donations, and I've just been kind of looking for people. Like, one of my Spellman sisters' house got burned down, so it's like I want to donate directly to people who I know who have experienced loss. I saw this one um, influencer. I shouldn't call him an influencer, but anywho, he's on Instagram, and he had this list of people who have a GoFundMe set up because their home was burned down at some Black part of the town that, it's a lot of Black people there. And so it's kind of like something set up to really help them because they have experience, they've lost everything. So those are the things that we need to know about, sisters. If you know something, let a sister know. Drop it in the comments or email me and I can get it out. Okay, so yeah, this moon is also very impactful on people who are Libras, Aries, Cancerians, and Capricorns. You will really feel it strongly. Something will be revealed to you all even more. That's sun, moon, or ascendant. It is a perfect moon for homemakers, caregivers of all kinds. Maybe, something will be of benefit to people who work in these fields or who are parents, um, moms. I mean, in particular, moms, because Cancer is, feminine, nurses, real estate agents, Airbnb hosts. When I saw that, I wrote this, a couple of years ago. This is a slide, something sure I put together a couple of years ago, and I thought about how Airbnb is letting people stay in their places. I was just like, wow, Airbnb for the win, because it has been struggling here lately. Anyone who provides care for children. So I'm just saying, I say perfect moon for them, but it it will be revealing something about all of this, okay? People in the food industry, don't be surprised if we hear something about the food industry. I will say I do think it is a good moon for healers, intuitives, people who work on or in the water, bartenders, people who make and sell beverages of all kinds, all right? So what I wanna do is just to kinda give a little bit of a general overview of what this moon means for the signs by modality, not modality, element. So I'm going to start with Aries. We're going to do the fire. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So for everybody with those signs, this is definitely this definitely could be a little bit of an emotional moon for you all. These are on what are called the water houses for you. And so everything that I talked about is largely going to kind of be bringing that up. And so it's like um, really having you to go within, and it's asking you to maybe you're going to feel a little extra emotional, nostalgic, like all the things that fire signs are not known for. And but the key for you is having that energy of being a little bit more tender, really attuned to feminine energy. It kind of depends on what your fire sign is, because some people with fire signs have planets in water. You'll probably feel great with this, right? But in general, fire signs, these for two of y'all, Leo and Sagittarius, these or Cancer is on what's called um, an emotional house or a hidden house. So it's like you don't even have access to this energy of Cancer, not easily. So it could feel for Leo and Sag a little bit uncomfortable. So really focus on, home, family, healing, being more intuitive, self-care, all of that for the fire signs. Okay, so I'm gonna go on ahead and do the earth. So for the earth signs, it's gonna be Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So these are on the houses that have to do with their social houses. They have to do with other people. And so this full moon could bring up a lot of topics around relationships with other people. Could be like siblings, cousins, friends, um, neighbors. It could be something around one-to-one relationships, or it could also be like a collective, like the community, or it's kind of like people who you um have something in common with, like your vibe tribe. So it definitely could be bringing up social topics. You could find yourself being very, very social, and maybe you're looking at how social relationships, like your emotions as they relate to other people socially, that kind of thing. Maybe it's like you're dealing with people and emotionally you don't feel good doing it. And this moon is going to reveal that. Or maybe you're going to be noticing, how much you do actually need people. It's kind of like these people for the earth signs are like family to you. um So yeah, just a lot around relationships, friendships, you and other people. And maybe you want to grow and move beyond them, or maybe you'll see how much you've grown as a result of these new people who you're connected to. Okay. So the next one is going to be the air signs. So that's going to be uh Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And so for all of you, that is the energy that has to do with making money, work, workplace, um, career. So these are the kinds of topics that will be coming up for the air signs with this. And it's like something will get revealed. Now, for some of y'all, it might be, the job has come through, or the money is there, and or maybe there's been some loss, but I think maybe you'll get some you'll be able to kind of understand why is that perspective. That's what I was looking for around, say for instance, loss of money, loss of job, something like that. But you have to remember, we have the Venus, we have the Jupiter in there. There's some blessing that's all mixed up in there for the air signs. And the other thing too is air signs, y'all are very logical, but it's important to understand that you're co-creating with spirit. All right. So you really want to be guided by spirit when it comes to money, career, and workplace, that kind of thing. Also, kind of like how you're operating, those day-to-day routines, health and wellness, that could be coming up for some of the air signs also. So it's kind of like practical things will be coming up for all of the air energy. And then for water, we have Cancer, which is the sign of the hour. We have Scorpio, and we have Pisces. And so for you all, it's like this actually could bring you some good fortune or perspective, some energy around like forgiveness. It definitely could be very healing, and it's all about growing and using your own gifts and talents. And it's like maybe you need to do a better job of nurturing them so that you can get them out into the world in a better way or something like that. Um, and something about, I think it's kind of like, how are you going to be moving? How are you going to be taking action? This moon can help to actually bring quite a bit of energy around, I want to take action, or motivation. It could bring this energy of inspiration. So the water signs, I think, will really love this moon because it's so your energy. Two of the water signs are involved in this moon. We don't have anything in Scorpio. You know what? We are going to involve Scorpio. I'm going to tell you why. Because Mars rules Scorpio. So that activates that Scorpio house. And it actually does bring in some energy around change and transformation too. So yeah, it's like all the water is involved. And, you know, it's this energy of fluidity is what I'm hearing to tell all the water signs. Your ability to be fluid is key. Even though Scorpio, you might have to thaw out the ice because Scorpio can be a little bit like uh, frozen. It's like what do you call it? An iceberg. So if you could get it, a little bit thought out, you could be flowy, but do it in your own way, Scorpio. Ain't nobody asking you to be nobody but you, and I know that's all you can do. But yeah, this energy of fluidity and being good with being intuitive and just all the things that water signs are known for. This is your moon. I would say this is a great moon for water signs. Hmm. Okay. So here are some says new moon. I try to update everything, but it's really full moon. Here's some cancer affirmations. That's what we'll call it. My emotions make me stronger. Alrighty. I follow my intuition and trust where it leads me. Ooh, that's a good one. That one just really landed in me. Compassion and understanding benefit myself and others. Compassion is one of the most healing things we can engage in, all right, for yourself and others. To be vulnerable is to be strong. I know it sounds a little bit contradictory because when you're vulnerable, you're just really in this place of being so open and we're letting go of all the protective things that we put there, right? But vulnerability actually allows for you to experience new things and more than likely to experience the things that you want. Vulnerability is key to that. Vulnerability is a superpower. When you can get vulnerable, it's like this you just get so relaxed and you're able to allow that thing to come to you or that experience or that feeling or whatever it is. So, to be vulnerable is to be strong, and the universal mother dwells within me. The universal mother dwells within me. I love that one. I'm going to do a reading, but I do want to let y'all know that my Soul Alchemy membership is available to you. And yeah, I consider it to be the concierge of spirituality. And things that I put in there are for sure the new moon reading goes into my membership. I gift the full moon reading to the community, the public community, but the new moon goes there. Things like the retrogrades, all of that, all the stuff that you need to use and understand. And it's created in a way where it's not just content, which I do it this on the internet. It goes a little more in depth, right? And definitely deepening of the spiritual practices. And of course, I'm in there, connecting with everybody. And my goal is to create a supportive community even within the Soul Alchemy Circle membership. So this the description, excuse me, check the description box if you want more details and to join is actually inside of my Inspired Goddess community. So please join me there. So y'all know I like to pull the cards. I like to shuffle and pull on camera. I may not be live right now, but uh this is live at this moment. Oh, I'm just gonna let that one come out. I just feel like that one won it. I don't typically do that. But that one I was like, ooh, I feel the energy of that card. So here we go. Second card. What do y'all want us to know for the full moon? Right here. All right. This is very interesting. We have one water, two air. Okay, so we do have Jupiter and air. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This one is a challenge. And look, it's Scorpio. We mentioned Scorpio right there at the end, didn't we? This is the denial card. Denial. Are you in denial river? So let's see here. Let's see what we have. Okay. So this is the denial card. It says a woman lies trance-like in her Egyptian night boat. Yeah, night boat in death right attire. She is shielded from her feelings, numb to her surroundings. Seven snakes, which we're in the year of the snake. I've really been wrapping my mind around that. Seven snakes watch her, alert to her comatose state, ready to initiate her into the next life. This is a warning card to come alive and feel again. Look at that. We talked about this moon and it's relating to the feelings. So maybe people have not been feeling. It's time to come alive and feel again. It's time to ask honestly of yourself, what are you afraid to heal? And what behaviors are keeping you from facing your true feelings? Now is the time to come out of that trance that keeps you in denial that leads to your death. Show courage. Now, I didn't even mention that with Mars. Mars is always about courage. Show courage, friends. Show courage and drop your inner shields so that you may listen to the essential messages your heart must tell you. Oh my God, that is powerful. Whew, it's got me sweating. I'm like, ooh, that was deep. I don't have anything to add to it. I just kind of feel like that reading was like pretty much this is what we're talking about, but I'm about to drop something else on you, Tyra, and this is stars. Now, this one I love. This one is the patience card. Now, I'm going to tell you where that is. Let's see here. In the astrology, that would be that Capricorn energy, as well as we do have the energy of Saturn. It's not super close to this moon, but is there. Definitely this energy of patience. And this is what it says. The deep peace of patience radiates from this woman with child. And that is significant because, of course, Cancer has to do with being a mother, you know? Her inner calm and knowing is earned by her internal alignment with source. So being aligned with spirit, being aligned with the great mother, this is what brings us calm. And, that is definitely that Pisces energy. She is open to receive the flow of stellar support always present. She shows that through perfect patience, the way is clear and illuminated, and all is coming in perfect time. Who is this message for? Wow. I just feel it's for somebody. I feel like some sisters listening, like, thank you for saying that, Tyra. I knew spirit was going to give me the answer. As you allow your patient, receptive mind to come to center, you open the channels for all that you desire to come to you when appropriate, for your greatest joy and fulfillment. This card is connected to Jupiter and Libra, but that is so that Jupiter with that Venus. Yes. Yes. That Pisces energy is definitely about ease and flow. Even though we have that Mars there, that's kind of like, hey, we need to take some action, but it's kind of like be easy about it. Stop rushing. Ooh, patience is going to come up as a theme for you. Maybe you'll see what it is related to during the full moon. Okay. And the intention card. Interesting. Because a lot of times I see intention having to do with the new moon, but let's see what it has to do with the full moon. So it says, the magnificent wind goddess of intention brings what she desires into her world with ease. Her clarity and focus. Now, there's that focus word because that is Mars. We need some focus. Her clarity and focus of intent come naturally as she is internally connected to spirit. So there's that energy around being connected to spirit and co-creating with spirit, okay? She navigates the deepest levels of the mind through meditation, introspection, and the dream time to identify what her being requires and then calls it to her. So we did talk about the law of mentalism and the mind, and yeah, and how that can help to, like, really getting in tune and bringing what she needs to her, or you bringing what you need to you. Her mind holds the intent of her soul's desire so that spirit has a clear picture of what to deliver. You must know your dreams and desires and let them fuel your intentions, that you honestly communicate with the heavens and they sing back in response. This is crazy. The other thing that I talked about in my spiritual laws class was the law of, I can't remember what it was called, but when I even heard it, I was like, I don't even remember saying that. But it's like the law of desire and intention or something like that. And how when you have desires, when you feel like you're leaning in a direction you want to do something, that's actually guidance about the next step to take. So maybe that's something that's going to really come clearly for everybody. The very power of your intention lights the path from your being to the creator by which your dreams may manifest and come home to you. So it's definitely, I guess, that Jupiter is going to be a little bit more important. We also have I'm going to pull this up. Pluto in We have Pluto in Aquarius. We have Jupiter in Gemini. Okay. Interesting. We do have Mercury up here. It's in a earth sign, so it's really kind of logical, and it's not all emotional, whatever. So that could be that could be something that is just really having us kind of like in our heads and connecting, getting our intentions straight in our minds so that we can send it out to spirit. Interesting. So that's what I have for you all. Thank you all so much. Happy full moon in Cancer. I'm just knowing that it is going to be a beautiful, wonderful time. Even with the challenges, we know that everything is working for us. And yeah, let me get some music going before we leave. Again, I invite you to join my Soul Alchemy membership circle. Just look in the box for details. Next thing coming up is the new moon in Aquarius. I'll be putting that inside of there. And I'm preparing the Venus retrograde and the next Mercury retrograde because they are right around the corner. They are right around the corner. All righty. So let's dance a little bit. Let's just feel. I'm not gonna stand up. I'm gonna chair dance. I think I'm gonna do. I always like this one. Have a good time. Oh, put on your pink. This is a Cancerian color. We give thanks to the Great Mother. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh, give thanks to the ancestors. Thank you, ancestors, for living that we may live. We stand on the shoulders of a great and mighty people. Ancestors of light, be with us. Also, I'm just praying for gentle, yet Yet essential rains pour down on California and any other place where there may be fires, bringing in that cooling rain. Give thanks for Pachamama, Onile, the earth, Gaia, and all of her waters. We give thanks to you, Ye Monja, the great mother goddess, ruler of the oceans, the rivers, connected to the sign of Cancer. We're just so grateful to you. Yay. Bring us love. Hold us. Hold us, yay. Help us to have that self-love and that self-compassion. Oh. Blessings on all you goddesses out there.